Welcome to this live broadcast on QTV. I am Mamadou Mbouj. This is a dialogue event marking the 75th anniversary since the signing of the UN Charter in 1945. Just after the Second World War, because of its devastation, many countries around the world came together and said what we can only term never again, a phrase we are very, very familiar with. So today, we have this dialogue event between heads of the organizations, the UN organizations and the UN resident coordinator. The discussions will revolve around 5 key questions, and they will be interspersed with performances from artists who had won UN-sponsored organized competitions in the art. So in the end, it will turn out to be quite a soiree, much more than just a discussion. But first, before we get into that, I will invite the UN resident coordinator, Ms. Seraphine Wakana, to give the opening remarks.
Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to also say a few words at this particular day for the UN globally, but also the UN in the Gambia. We are here to celebrate, as you mentioned already, the 75th anniversary of the UN. The UN was founded in 1945, and the same day the Charter was adopted. And the Charter is about we the people, and this is all what we are about. We are many agencies in the Gambia, because the Gambia is also a member state of the United Nations. The Gambia joined the UN 55 years ago. So we are also celebrating that today, because the UN is about the member states, it's about the people, it's about the partners. So it's all about partnership. All we do it in collaboration with the country. We are aligned. We are here to serve and contribute to the achievements of the national priorities. We are also here to lift those who are in need. So again, when we talk about the people, it's addressing most of the challenges. And if I can put it in some of the achievements that the UN has made so far, as you said, that we started by saying that the UN was created to address international challenges, conflicts. It started by conflicts between states, but now it was evolved, and now we are addressing internal issues. And that's why we are here as the UN to serve the Gambians, to address the challenges, mainly the inequalities. We know that Gambia is a transition, so you will see us mostly addressing issues around peace, issues around inequalities, human rights. I won't name everything. And then we work on the nexus between development, humanitarian, and peace building. I'll stop here as an introduction, and I have a big team here, but this is just few members of the country team here in the Gambia.
Thank you very much there, Ms. Seraphine Wakana, the resident coordinator of the UN. Before we get to our first question, I think it will be appropriate for the panelists here to introduce themselves. Just 2 minutes of introductory remarks about yourselves and your agencies. I'll start on my extreme right, please.
Good evening. It's a pleasure to follow this program. Good evening, dear spectators. I started there. I'm UNDP, United Nations Development Program resident representative in the Gambia. And as you know, the UNDP is the agency that is promoting development, but in a large sense in terms of integrated approach for this development. You name it, from environment, climate change, governance, and peace-related issues but at the same time, sustainable development.
Thank you very much. Next.
Thank you again for having us. My name is Shabna Malik, and I am the country manager for United Nations Office for Project Services, which is the operational arm of the United Nations. We are mainly in infrastructure, in procurement, in project management, and so on and so forth. But of course, most importantly, cross-cutting issues of anything to do with SDGs, we all work together in it. So we look forward to the lively dialogue. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next.
Thank you very much for having me also here. I'm Dr. Desta Tiruna, the WHO country representative. I'm representing the World Health Organization, which was created on the decision that was made after the birth of the United Nations in 1945, based on the decision of the United Nations Conference in San Francisco in 1945. And after 3 years, the organization was born in 1948, came into being to address issues of health, particularly following the bigger pandemics of 1918, which actually was responsible for the loss of more than 50 to 100 million lives during that time. So it was actually agreed that there is a need for autonomous international organization, and as a result of that, we came into being, and we are here supporting member states to address issues of health. And currently, as you know, COVID-19, which affects all dimensions of development. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you very much. We already know Serafin Wakana. Straight to my immediate left.
Thank you very much. My name is Yvonne Masarakufa, and I am representing Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights, or UN Human Rights. UN Human Rights has the mandate for the promotion, the protection, and furthering the advancement or actualization of human rights, and for us here in the Gambia. So our mandate involves providing technical support, providing substantial or financial support to our partners, to the government, and including also national human rights institutions, in our case, the National Human Rights Commission, in furtherance of the human rights agenda. Our mandate also involves ensuring that within the UN family, we are providing the guidance in terms of human rights. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next.
Thank you. Good evening, viewers. My name is Raymond Jata, and I work for the United Nations Capital Development Fund, otherwise called UNCDF. Our mandate actually is to bring financing to the last mile. One of the bottlenecks, as you know, in development is about access to finance. So one of the mandates for UNCDF is to bring financing to the last mile. We do that through working with private sector and also working with local governments. In the Gambia, we work through 2 flagship programs. One is to work with the Central Bank of the Gambia and private sector to bring financing to the doorsteps of Gambians. And the other is to work with local governments as they plan and implement on issues of climate change adaptation in the Gambia. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And Panelist.
Thank you very much, Mohammed. Good evening, audience. My name is Kunle Adeni. I'm the representative of the United Nations Population Fund, UNFPA, in the Gambia. UNFPA is active in over 150 countries globally, working on making sure that we end maternal mortality, the unmet need for family planning, and to ensure that gender-based violence becomes a thing of the past in our world. Ultimately, we've been in Gambia for over 40 years doing this, majorly directed at 2 demographics, women and young people. We believe that by this 3-pronged approach, we would raise human capital and reduce inequalities in the world. Thank you, and I'm happy to be here today.
Thank you very much. So now we'll go straight into the first question. What is the UN, and what does it represent to the people of the Gambia? I have to say, each will possibly spend maybe 2 minutes. It will test our powers of summary, but we want to spend about 10 minutes or so on this. We will begin with the resident coordinator. what is the...
Yeah. Actually, I'm coordinating the program of the UN in the Gambia. All our agencies are working together. We do joint work, so you won't hear anyone saying I'm a standalone agency. We are here as a family, and we are here to deliver and contribute to the realization of the National Development Plan. So, as a partner to the government,